Hello folks and welcome back to Medieval Total War. I am Conostip and this is going to be part 38 of my early campaign where I'm playing as England. And we are 2 turns into this gigantic war against the Spanish Empire. They have attacked me 2 turns ago, was it? Yeah, I think they just attacked me on the open seas. But then in the last turn they did attack me here in Palestine. And they took it after a pretty brutal battle. I thought that I was going to hang on there. But I look at these numbers here in these stacks that they have here in Palestine, and I'm thinking, Jesus, I was not close. There was still a lot left to fight by the end of that. So I'm going to be attacking Palestine. That looks to be a pretty gigantic battle by itself. I have the forces in Tripoli and Antioch to do so. It's not looking like overwhelming forces in my favor. It looks pretty even because I still have to leave at least a stack in Antioch and Tripoli as well. The Spanish have left a stack here in Syria, which of course do threaten, all of my provinces. So it's going to be a pretty fine balancing act. And in addition to that, I have to find a new governor for Antioch. And I noticed up here that the general that I have in Antioch, this 4-star general, Sir Edward Plantagenet, only has 2 loyalty. So I think that he has lost some loyalty from... Maybe my king lost some influence when he lost Palestine, so that's not looking good. I think that I was, if I remember correctly, I think I was going to address this somehow. I can't remember. I thought that I was going to do something about him. And now I'm thinking, okay, well, I can give him the title. The title of Antioch, the governorship of Antioch, gives loyalty and piety. And he has 0 piety and only 2 loyalty. So that can go to use. He's a good general. He's a 4-star general, and brave beyond belief does give 3 morale and 3 valor. You know, he's a good fighter as well. 6 valor, goddamn. You see down there, 6 valor. So I think that I want to give him the governorship and then send him into battle. See, 3 loyalty still isn't that great, you know, but he can, yeah, man, the Spanish have some good generals. Yeah. That was a weakness of my general that was leading in Palestine, was that he was the guy that had very low valor, I think. And I think that it's the same thing for this general as well. I think he also has low valor. Gluttony. Yeah, he's bad. -4 valor, -10 happiness. Yeah, like, you know, charismatic leader and natural leader, that's great. That's a +5 morale. That is really good. So I still think that he's a capable general. Just, you know, don't want to get him into any fights, you know? So I'm going to have to look at things and try to assign. I think I do want him. Let me check the loyalty of these other guys to make sure that they're all fine, you know, because he's looking okay. He's looking okay. I think this is a 2-star general. He's looking okay as well. And then back in the mainland, how are we looking loyalty-wise? 2 loyalties, not, you're just a chivalric men-at-arms, so that's fine. And that is all looking okay. I thought there's a guy over here that was kind of dodgy. Was it you? No, you're just swordsman. Okay. 3 loyalties looking pretty dodgy. Sir Henry Plantagenet, you're no longer part of the succession line, so you're an overlooked uncle, it appears, of my king. Yeah. Yeah, you're of royal blood, you're married to command stars, so you're a Civil War leader candidate. Yeah, it's a little dodgy for sure. But 3, hopefully. I feel like I have seen generals switch with 3 loyalty. So that might be the line. 5 influence isn't bad, you know. You would think that that'd be okay. Well, I'm going to stick with the plan then, and I'm going to go ahead and give... Is it Sir Edward? Yeah, Sir Edward Plantagenet. I'm going to give you the governorship of Antioch. Put you up to 3 loyalty. And then, yeah, Antioch is making some money. And I can put some armies together here. And I have control of the navy, like the control of the seas down here, so I can move troops from Antioch to Palestine in 1 turn. Yeah, that's looking okay. So yeah, he's going to be leading, and I'm going to put an army together that consists of probably most of the armies in these two provinces. I'm, like I said before, just probably going to leave a stack in each of these provinces. Yeah, maybe even bring a stack from Antioch down to Tripoli, and then like bring a stack from Edessa to cover down here to Antioch. That could be an idea as well. I don't need 4 stacks in Edessa to defend against, what, the 1 Spanish stack? That's not necessary either. Now, there's a chance. The Byzantines, I'm pretty sure, did they side with the Spanish? They did. So we are no longer allies. Now we're not at war with the Byzantines, and you would think that the Byzantines would have their hands full fighting the Poles, but that's not always how the AI sees things. Sometimes the AI says, well, screw you, that's why, and then they just attack you despite the fact that they have, you know, more important things to do. So in this case, am I weak enough for them to attack me, even if I were to leave 1 stack in Antioch and Edessa? I don't think so. I don't see it. These forces are okay. You know, the Pronoi Legion is a decent heavy cav unit, kind of a medium cav unit, and then yeah, nothing too crazy here except for the general, but it's just a 1-man unit, and then spears. This army's looking okay. But nothing too threatening, I don't think. I think you know, well, they're not even bordering any of my provinces anyway, so that is fine. And so that's that. I'll get that together. That's going to take a little bit of time, but what I can do is go through my naval engagements, because again, I have to be kind of choosy in this regard. So I won the English Channel, which I should have, because I had the most power there, and I don't think there's going to be any claimants on these sea regions, but they do have boats in the North Atlantic and the Irish Sea. The Irish Sea, this is problematic because I do have troops that I'm training here that I can no longer get to anywhere else, so removing this caravel. Yeah, caravel 2 stars, and I have 2 barks with 2-star admiral, but I don't think that that's a favorable engagement, so I'll try to get out of there. My boats are faster than his boat, so I should win that, but then what I can do is bring in my boats from the English Channel. Do I want to bring them all? That seems like overkill, but that's kind of how you want to do this. You kind of want to do these fights via overkill. So just bring all of that. Yeah, it's pretty ridiculous, but let's just do it. And then I'll have 4 barks in the English Channel. That's something. So they're going to have control of Costa Verde, and I think we can fight for this. I think I have enough troops here in the Spanish coast. So 2 caravels and 4 barks, and then they're just going to have the 1 bark, but it's a 2-star admiral. That's my kind of fight right there. That's the fight that I'm looking for. And that's how these naval wars go. You know, you have to kind of really make sure you choose the winning engagements. You know, like I said, these can take a while, but if you take bad engagements, then they can take longer, because then you have to, you know, build more boats and move your boats around and consolidate them. So it's just, you know, it seems slower to do it this way, but it's actually faster because you're not losing stuff. So 2 barks, and then they have the 1 bark, 1-star admiral. That feels kind of even to me, so let's get out of that. Now their boat is as fast as my boat, so they might catch me. But on the defense, as I've talked about before, I might win that. We will see. And then here in the Western Mediterranean, I know I tried to escape this before because there used to be a lot of boats here. And I got lucky, I suppose. 2-star admiral now because he's been winning those fights. And versus a 0-star 2 caravels, so you'd think I have the advantage, but not good enough for me. So let's get out of there. Maybe go to the Straits of Sicily. Why not? Up here, this looks like a good fight. What do I have? 6 barks and 0-star admiral, and then they have a 2-star admiral, 1 bark. So I might actually lose a couple boats here, but I still think that my 6 versus 1 should win that. So, not ideal, but I have to take some engagements, right? And then here, what do we have? So you just moved into the region. Then I have this and this and this. And then they have a 0-star Caravel. And I have a 0-star 4 barks, 2 Caravels. So, Caravel, I don't need... So, I should be able to catch them because even my slowest boat, you know, is a Caravel. So I should be able to catch them. That shouldn't be an issue there. And then this is all looking fine. And then down here, we have a 2-star Caravel. I have a 2-star 2 barks. So I should try to get away from that if I can. So let's go this way. Yeah. And that's probably it. Probably only going to get a couple of fights here unless, you know, they attack us here and then we win that. And, you know, they might attack, same thing here. That Caravel might try to attack those barks. No, they're going to get away. That's right. Yes. Okay. So that's looking okay. And then we did win the fight for Anjou. They did attack Anjou, I believe. The troops here are looking kind of sparse. And I'm going to have to cover down here because they still have a lot of forces here in Toulouse, and I just have the 2 stacks. So I'm going to have to kind of cover down, bring a stack maybe from Aquitaine, maybe from Ile-de-France, and yeah, go from there. Looks like I have a good general here. Yeah, Lord Mortimer, I was going to bring you over to Flanders. Yeah, that would be nice, because if you could be in control of this army rather than this shithead, then that would make me feel a bit better. Because you have much better loyalty. How is this general? He's loyal, 3 stars. Natural leader, no mercy. Gentle knight. Yeah, he got pretty banged up in that last battle though. So I'm gonna have to retrain his unit or merge his unit. Okay, so that should be fine. And we are going to continue to wage total war against the Spanish. I mean, we have, it's not just the navies, it's not just our forces, it's also our agents. And there has been a religious, like a Christian rebellion here. And this is looking pretty gosh darn good. 3 feudal knights, 4 genites, 4 archers, 2 feudal sergeants, and 2 peasants. That's not bad. Would they beat this? 2 royal knights, 4 genites, 1 chivalric men-at-arms, archers, militia sergeants, urban militia. That's kind of a close fight. The veterancy and the command of the Spanish forces might see them through, but I mean, 3 feudal knights is pretty gosh darn good. Yeah, that's interesting. And I was wondering, I was looking at this to see what exactly caused this Christian rebellion, you know? And so loyalty is at 0%. That's obvious, right? Zeal 88. That's high, probably caused by my inquisitors, or also the Italian inquisitors who are here as well. What else? Catholicism is, of course, at 100%, so that makes sense, but that doesn't quite answer all of the questions here, because I was looking around and thinking, okay, what about Navarre? Like, Navarre has 74% zeal, so, like, not that much lower than the zeal in Aragon. And sure, they have a bigger army, 745 men, as opposed to the 435 men, but you wouldn't think that that would make that much of a difference. So I'm just looking around and thinking, I found the governor of Aragon. I think it's down here, and there you are. 0 piety is the thing that stands out to me. So I'm wondering if that really is the, that's that correlation between piety and zeal, I would say. And the fact that there's 0 piety and an 88% zeal province, that probably is what caused the Christian rebellion there. Either that or just the straight up excommunication of the Spanish. But again, it's not happening to other provinces. It's just Aragon in this instance. And I think that I determined before that the excommunication seemed to have lowered the piety of the generals and characters. In fact, I should probably find the governor of Navarre to compare. Okay, he's right here, and Lord Ferrer, and 5 piety. Now, it's confusing because he's excommunicated, so you would kind of think that that doesn't really match up, but I would guess that that is the difference. the fact that he has 5 piety and the other guy doesn't. And let's see here, atheist, that's -8 piety, holy shit. But then he has +4 piety. So these are both God-fearing and atheist. It's kind of confusing, but I think he got both of those from being tried by inquisitors. I think so. Yeah, it's kind of confusing because one gives +4 piety and the other one gives -8 piety, so it's a net negative, sure. But then he has pious, which also may have been from getting tried by inquisitors, so +3 piety. Weak principles. He might be. Oh yeah, I tried to bribe him, didn't I? Yeah. Let's try that again, actually. Yeah, it cost 107,000. Holy shit. I mean, I have a lot of money, so let's do it. And I think I noticed up here as well. So you have moral flexibility, -30% to bribe for you as well, Don Sancho Velquez. And again, yeah, kind of a full stack really, right? So can I bribe these guys? -30% to bribery cost. And that would cost 95,000. Yeah. I mean, if I can get rid of one of these 5 stacks, just like that, that would be pretty dope. Now, there was other guy that I was trying to bribe over here. I think it was you. And he just had the moral flexibility before when I tried to bribe him, but then from resisting the urge to go for that, he has gained a trait of man of principle for +50% to cost to bribe, which is, you know, contrary to this, but it does, it's a net positive. So it's, you know, additional +20% to cost to bribe. So I'm not going to spend money on that. I just like to take the low hanging fruit, you know, to see if I can find the easy grabs. Same thing for like assassins and spies, you know, it's like, yeah, I can try to force my way into provinces that have border forts. Sure, that is a, you know, a possibility, but you know, low hanging fruit, just kind of go for the places that don't have border forts like Syria, right? So I have a spy here. I could send an assassin in to go after this general, but it's just a 1-star general. He's not a governor. I don't know if that's really worth the risk of sending my assassin in, because he could, you know, die in that attempt. And I think that all of these other places the Spanish have border forts, like most of them do. So it is very restrictive in what I can do here. Like I can use my inquisitors and my my emissaries. Actually, Aragon does not. Yeah, that's probably another reason why they have a rebellion here. And Toulouse does not as well. Ooh, okay. Do I have spies here? I do. But he has Zero Valor. Is that the right? Clicking on the right guy? Zero Valor. Okay, I should probably get. Pretty sure I have spies that have better valor than that, right? I do. Can they get down there? They can get to Aquitaine. Okay, so you have 1 valor. You should go to Toulouse, because it will default to the highest valor spy, and it's going to be him that's going to be detracting from the population loyalty here. It's 200%. It's not going to be a big deal. But if there is... Are there people here that I can, like, you know, not corrupt, but looking for people who are leading the stack that are governors, because those are the people that I can make lose loyalty just by spying on them. I can kind of make them go paranoid. But I'm not seeing any governors that are heads of stacks. There's a governor here. Oh, he is the head of the stack. It's confusing that it's not at the top left corner, but you are... That is you. Yeah, the Duke of Sinai. Skilled attacker, fast talker, weak principles. Oh. Well, I should bribe you. I think I forgot to check these guys. Okay, so that's you. And you don't have any traits? That's weird. 2-star general, no traits. Weird. Also no traits. And weak principles, -20%. Huh. Interesting. Okay, well, then, since I have a spy that's already here, where'd you go? There you are. And spy on him. Because over time, he's going to be going paranoid and losing loyalty. And then for this guy with weak principles, let's see if we can bribe him here. It's going to cost 37,000. Okay. Yeah, we have the money, so we may as well spend it. And I do have to find a governor for Anjou as well. In fact, do I just want to make it you? You have 0 acumen, but yeah, I might do that just to make sure I don't, you know, suffer a civil war right now. Yeah, let's do it. It feels bad, but I can always reshuffle the governorship titles after this war. But right now, this is wartime policy. Okay, we have to make sure that we just get through this. There are a couple more things that I can try here, and that is using my assassins. Now, sure, there is a border fort here in Palestine, but the king is right there. And this is something that I don't do very often in this game, but something that I was starting to do more often while I was playing Shogun 1, which is that I was going for assassination attempts on the same turns that I was attacking a province. And it was my understanding that this is something that I was testing. I wanted to see if this is true or not. And it's hard to test because it's so rare for this to work. But if I can get an assassination attempt to work on the general that was commanding the army, defending the province that I was attacking in that turn, then the thing that I was testing, because I had heard about it before, is that assassination of that person is going to lower the morale of the people in that army from that assassination, not just from losing the traits that the leadership traits that general is giving, but there's like an additional like morale hit from losing their general to an assassin in that turn. And I thought, it's been a while since I've played Shogun 1, but I thought that I had noticed that. And yeah, it's hard. It's hard to say these things with certainty because, the way that it works out that perfectly is so rare, And I would say it's even more rare in this game because of border forts being so prevalent. But if we can get an assassination on the Spanish king, what are our chances looking like? We have a 2 valor assassin and a 1 valor assassin. And if we attack him, so 7% chance, not too high. Let's go there. And then a 0% chance, so no point in using him. I have an assassin up here, 1 valor. There's no point. I think that the only way to get past border forts is by using mass agents. So like maybe 3 assassins going into a province all at once, then maybe, 1 or 2 can get by, but 1 will get caught. And that's not accounting for the attempt itself. Most of them can die during the attempt of that individual. So with that being said, I don't think it's worth it. Because if you're the only one that can go, you're probably going to get caught by the border fort before you even get in there. Actually, with that, oh, you know what? I forgot. So, I keep forgetting this. The buildings of this province, I still have this citadel. And the buildings, they obviously can't use yet because they don't fully control the province yet. But do the provincial happiness bonuses buildings like the border fort and the town watch and the border, watchtowers and all that, and the churches, all of those buildings that give happiness bonuses to the province, they don't count for the invading army until they've finished taking the settlement, correct? That's the only thing that would make sense. But I guess I just hadn't really thought of that because in this case, for instance, I keep forgetting to do this. All the time I forget to do this. So as of now, my spies should be safe here because they don't control these border forts. right? It's when they actually take over this settlement, if my spies are still here, that's when we will start to see problems. Which actually makes me think maybe I should continue to spy on these people. The ones that I've already been working on. Yeah, like the God-fearing ones. Yeah, over here, make you lose some loyalty. Yeah, there we go. So with that being said, these border forts aren't counting for them. So that means that the 2%, or sorry, the 7% that this guy has of killing the king. Let's just go for it. Let's see. Stranger things have happened. And up here, though, you can just keep on killing emissaries and try to get your rank up so that someday maybe you can be sent after a king. I have now finished moving troops on over to Palestine, and I'm looking at it now and I'm thinking, Jesus, will the Spanish even stand up against this? The numbers might be favored for me, that is. So, yeah, we'll see. We'll see if they want to actually stand and fight, or if they just want to retreat back to, well, anywhere, really. Sinai, Arabia, Syria, we will see. And then, same thing up here in Anjou, except not so much. I brought whatever units that I felt like I could spare from Ile-de-France and Aquitaine and nearby places. I even had some troops in Normandy and Brittany as well. But I was dismayed to realize how few billmen that I had in Europe, which is shocking, and it's really speaks to the negligence on my part, because the billmen should be one of my keystone units in my armies. So I am training them here in Murcia, but I clearly took a break for a while, and I don't have that many units, which is bad. I didn't have any in my army in Anjou, and I thought in that moment that was just a singular issue. But then I was looking next door to Ile-de-France, and I was like, Jesus, there's like one unit here, and like I think there's 0 billmen in Aquitaine. Until did I just bring some over, or no? Yeah, there's 0 billmen here. That's bad. That's bad. Aquitaine is bordering Toulouse and Navarre, you know, Spanish-held provinces. So yeah, we'll have to see about that. And just the icing on the cake, I'm going to send in an assassin, since there's no border fort here in Aragon, and I know that there's this little Christian rebellion going on here, and I noted that one of the primary advantages the Spanish do seem to have here is their 3-star general. Possessor of books. I've never seen that one before. I don't think, have I? I don't know if I have. Many years of reading have given this man superior intellectual abilities, but sapped his taste for action. Plus 3 acumen, minus 1 valor. Interesting, huh? I wonder what triggers that. Yeah, I wonder if that's something that you would get. Do they have like a university? I know that's a building that does exist in game, but I don't know. Doesn't exist there. Because there's a couple buildings that don't seem to really do anything. I think it might just be one. It's just one building, and I thought it was the university that just branches to the next building in the chain. Like it allows you to get like a military college or something like that. But the building itself, and I think it is the university, when I look into the Wikipedia, it does nothing according to the Wikipedia. And now that I'm seeing that trait, the possessor of books, I'm wondering if that would be like a university trait, kind of like in Rome, where people hang out in a province that has an academy. And yeah, gosh, I'm not seeing any university on a cursory glance. But now I'm wondering, is that worth testing out? I always build it, I do. I think, is it in Wessex that I'm building stuff? The Constable's Palace, the Admiralty. So I think I need to get up to the fortress before I can get the University, College of Surgeons, and Military Academy. And I feel like I have to get the university just to get those 2 buildings, and that this one itself doesn't do anything. And then the College of Surgeons is weird because it gives like an incredible happiness bonus, but by the time you have a fortress, you have no reason for that much happiness. Like there's never going to be an issue with, issues, like the happiness issues. You're fine by then. There's a lot of buildings in this game that give happiness. There's more of an issue of like, loyalty for generals and characters and governors, sure. But like happiness, like, nah, you're good. By the time you have a fortress, you are good. It's kind of the same thing for the cathedral where this also gives a happiness bonus. And you're like, really? Like, do I care? Like by the time you get a cathedral, it's the same thing where you're like, I'm good. I don't need that. Where was I? The military academy. This, I believe, does give your units that are trained in that province the discipline trait. That's good. The discipline trait is very good because it means that they will not be affected by units that are rowdy and that are not disciplined, which is very strong, actually. So if I were to build that building in Wessex, gosh, not Wessex, Mercia. Yeah, I should get the military academy in Mercia if I can. That with the cathedral for that +3 morale for my billman, in addition to the military academy, like those guys would just never break. Because they're not disciplined as is, correct? Very good defense, bonus versus armored, bonus attacking cavalry, and armored. Yeah, so no disciplined trait for them. Yeah, that would be very, very nice. Yeah, worth keeping in mind for later, but before I forget, okay, I got sidetracked. Let's send this assassin 3 stars. What's your chances of killing that bookish general? 34% chance. That's actually not bad. Yeah, let's see about that. And we can even bring down you. And I know that we have Guy of Gisborne still hanging out here. Yeah, 5-star assassin. Let's put you to use. You've just been killing like diplomats and bishops for your entire career. Let's come down here and actually kill someone useful, maybe. And with that, I think we're ready to go. I mean, it's been a long turn, but we had a lot of stuff to do. So I imagine this is just going to be another 1-turn episode. If we get some good fights in here. Let's see if the Spanish attack me in Anjou. I would imagine they will. They have a lot of forces in Toulouse still. And even in Palestine, I would imagine that they would put up a defense. If not, it would be somewhat disappointing just to, not make any progress there when it comes to attritioning them down. Yeah, they didn't make a move on Anjou. Interesting. Interesting. Spy fails. Did we not? Okay, what's going on in Palestine? Yes. I accused some people that I knew I had no chance of, getting a killing via heresy, just to get them to try to get that that lower loyalty trait going on. And it looks like I did get a couple guys as well. Okay, good, nice. Not you. It's fine. I got this guy here in Navarre. Okay. And the rebels are going to retreat here in Franconia. Okay, to the Italians. Interesting. And the Italians were at Swabia. Okay, so the Italians are going to retreat from the rebels here. Okay. The Polish are taking Georgia. Interesting. And the Spanish are going to retreat from Palestine. Okay. Well, it's nice to have it back, but... Alright. Dang, they caught me here. Oh, shoot. That's too bad. Yeah. I'm pretty sure I did move my guys, right? Yeah, I did. I moved these boats to the Straits of Gibraltar, but they just got caught because they had the same speed as the other boats, the caravels. Yeah, that's too bad. That sucks. I'm pretty sure my guys... See, this is confusing because it could not have been this many boats because, previously it was just the 2 Spanish boats and then my 2 boats. And the units, sure, they can move into the sea region during the end turn phase, obviously, but they cannot have contributed to the victory. So that was just 2v2. And that means that on the attack, so not the defense, but on the attack, their 2 caravels with 0 Star Admirals beat my 2 caravels that had 2 Star Admiral, which doesn't seem fair. Looks like we did get the 1 boat here in the Ligurian Sea. And we got a boat here. Yep. Yep. Okay, and the Christian Rebellion is still, let's see, popular unrest. So this isn't even like a Christian rebellion. This is like just a regular old-fashioned rebellion, I think. Oh shit, the Spanish king just died from an illness. Okay. Huh. Now, I did notice, I was looking, and he did have at least 3 sons, so he should be fine. But I'd be interested to see if there's any, you know, issues with his empire now. Okay, so let's see. 99,000 offered the advised amount, and no, the general is too loyal. Okie dokie. And 28,000 for this guy. Again, that's fine. Nope, he was too loyal. And then up here, it's going to be... So he has increased in value, so it's 46,000. And continue with your initial offering. Raise offer to the advisor. Yeah, a raise offer. And no, he was too loyal as well to bribe. That's unfortunate. Okay, I had a spy caught here in Castile. I didn't think they had border forts here, so that means good old-fashioned Italian counter-spying is happening there. And my assassin got caught here in Portugal. Okay, oh, that's too bad. Spy has been caught and killed by enemy bodyguards. So that... Was that... See, that's confusing. That... That's very confusing. This is my province, right? So why am I losing agents in my province? Is that being counted? You know what I mean? Like, did my border forts, did they count against me even though I still held the citadel? It seems like they did, right? And this is just kind of like the order of things is just being kind of mixed up here. Like this happened technically before the Spanish withdrew from Palestine. Yeah, that's very bizarre. It's unfortunate and frustrating. All of the above. Yep, lost. Yep, I get it. I get it. Jesus Christ, just lost like. All right, caught a papal assassin here in Wales. Huzzah! And a Polish assassin. Okay, all going to Wales. I don't know why. Citadel in Northumbria is finished, and we have the Demi-Culverin Towers finished here in Flanders. And by the way, this is something that I keep on forgetting to bring up, or if I have brought it up, then I've forgotten. But it's my understanding, and I don't know if this is true, but when it comes to the gun towers for the settlement defense, for the, you know, the fortification defenses, is it true that some of them are bugged? I don't know. The Demi-Culverin Towers might work, but I feel like is it the siege tower? If there's like there's a siege gun towers. There's a step up from Demi-Culverin Towers. There's one more type of tower defense thing, and I think is it the siege gun towers? I can't remember, but yeah, let me know. Do they work or not? If they don't work, let me know so I don't build them and then, you know, have a thing that doesn't work. Because I think if you build something that doesn't work, it's just taking the place of something that could be working, right? Like if I build the siege gun towers, then they would be taking the place of the Demi-Culverin Towers. And if these work and those ones don't, then obviously I'd like to know that. So yes, years with no summer. The weather has been most unnatural, uncanny, and unkind. The winter snows were very late in the thawing. The spring rains were heavy and prolonged, and the summer sun never came at all. As the year turns, the snows have come early, the crops are poor, and the rivers freeze. Across northern Europe, income will suffer this year. Okay. So +1 loyalty, and then Lord Montfort is +3 valor, -2 acumen, -2 command. Okay. Huh, quiet end turn. Interesting. I did not see that coming. And the Spanish forces actually got split up a little bit. 2 stacks here in Sinai, and then the 4 stacks in Syria. That makes that a bit easier to, oh, I don't know, just kind of handle, I guess. At least for this turn. Sure, these guys could come back to Syria and form up another 6 stack Death Star. But even then, they could only attack with 5 of those stacks if they want to, you know, leave a stack in Syria. So, yeah, kind of tricky. How's income looking? Ooh, minus 2,500. That's not good. But I still have 650,000 in the treasury, so I'm fine. I am fine. And how are we looking? All right, so we got some Spanish boats in the neighborhood. A 2-star caravel. That's not good. I have four barks. 2 stars, sure. But that's not a fight that I want to take. So I can't get these guys across, can I? Oh, I can from Wessex. Perfect. Okay. Yeah, there's like a little land bridge here, so the channel doesn't really matter for that. So let's try to get away from those guys. I'll look at that in a moment. So there's no boats there, but there's a Spanish boat here. A 3-star caravel. God damn, dude. Oh, I need to get these cogs going. I have a couple of them, but a couple ain't enough. Yeah, I'm working on the Shipbuilders Guild here in Wessex. Is it 4 more turns? Gotta hurry up, man. I need those boats. We can now have a look at the new Spanish king, King Pedro II here, 27 years old, 3 influence. That's not that great. And he's a drinker, so -1 command, killer instinct, +1 dread, +2 valor. Yeah, 27 years old. Yeah, 3 influence. That ain't great. We can check around and see if there's any loyalty issues that we can see. And yeah, it looks like that Christian rebellion got defeated because this is a new army here. This is just a regular like peasant army. Yeah, very low taxes, loyalty of 82%. And this is a weaker army. Genetes, feudal sergeants, urban militia, and arquebusiers. But, you know, not bad. This army, there's a 3-star general here. Is this the same guy? I think it's a different guy. Crackbrained. Ooh, -2 morale. That's not good. Yeah, a lot of acumen, though. So it'd be nice to get rid of him just so that he's not giving that acumen bonus to Syria. Not that, I mean, Syria is a poor province, so it's not that big of a deal. And then you, Don Infante Juan. Oh, you're the guy. You were the guy that was over here. Ah, see, yes. This assassin's still on the... He's on the path, and I don't want him to chase into Navarre, because Navarre has that border forge, so I'm glad that I found that. So what I would rather do is redirect this assassin to go after that guy, Lord Vermundez. Yeah. Yeah, we'll see if we can help these rebels out. Now I've spent this turn going over all of the same things that I went over last turn, so I didn't feel like I needed to kind of talk you guys through everything. I just redistributed my forces here in the Levant to try to, mirror whatever threat the Spanish might pose out here, and then I'm continuing to play conservatively in the naval realm and just kind of avoid any fights that I feel like don't favor me, and then take the fights that do favor me. And the Spanish have some pretty decent forces out here. In fact, I'm really having to kind of play coy out here. They have 1 2-star caravel here, and then they have a 3-star caravel in the North Sea. No, this is the North Sea? No, this is the North Sea? Yeah, it's the North Sea. So those are, 2 tough boats. So I didn't feel like losing just a bunch of like barks to those boats. So I did move my forces out, and I brought in my good fleet with the caravel and the 2 cogs as well to try to take on these caravels one at a time, because that's how we're doing things. And then, yeah, just continuing to play conservatively elsewhere. And we will see if the Spanish want to attack. Yeah, I feel like they should consolidate first, because I don't know if their 4 stacks in Syria are going to be enough. Up here, though, I mean, I was kind of surprised they didn't attack last time. I wonder if they're just too distracted by this right now. So let's drop a save. And I'm also curious, I wonder if they're going to be having issues with their king, you know, having a new king and then having his influence just be at 3. They might be kind of struggling with some stability issues just from that. So still no attack onto... Okay, there they go. So I don't... yeah, I feel like they have 3 stacks versus my 3 or 4 stacks. So that should go okay. No shit, an assassin killed my Grand Inquisitor. No shit. Huh. Okay. Well, that explains why all of those other factions' assassins were being caught in Wales. I was wondering why people were going to Wales. And I guess they're targeting my Grand Inquisitors, which is interesting. That tells me something. That tells me that that is a pretty important target for the AI factions. Yeah, okay, that makes sense. They're powerful agents for sure. That's interesting. Let's see here. We killed a Byzantine emissary here in Antioch. Sure. The Inquisitor's name is Henry Plantagenet. Okay. Yep, that's fine. Just a bunch of people going free from the heresy trials. That is all fine. And we did assassinate this guy. Wow, cool. So that was a 3-star general there that we were able to assassinate with our 3-star assassin, I think. Not bad. That should make the fight a bit easier for the rebel forces there, so I wonder if they're going to be okay. And the Byzantines are going to be retreating here in Serbia. And they're going to go for it. Interesting. So this is not a good general that I have. Sir William Bouchier is, yeah, he's 2 stars, as you can see. And if I remember correctly, I can't remember, can I see what he has? No, it doesn't show me his traits. But if I remember correctly, he does have a good runner trait, which is -3 morale, which sucks. Yeah, that's bad. I don't have that many generals out here in the Levant. So that's troublesome. They attacked my province that was being led by my weakest general. So yeah, that's pretty tough. And they have a 4-star general and a 17-man unit of Royal Knights, and he has 6 Valor as well. So he's going to be a tough cookie to bring down. As far as his force is concerned, mangonels, so not too worried about that, obviously. And the first stack is going to have, let's see here, how is this looking? Somewhat balanced, I would say. They have 3 arbalesters and a Pavese crossbow and an archer unit and a javelin unit. That's a lot of range right there. And a regular crossbow unit. That's a lot of range, it really is. And then 2 Genites. So 2 light cav. And then for melee troops, they have a half-strength unit of Order foot soldiers, and then some chivalric men-at-arms and feudal men-at-arms. And is that it? Militia sergeants as well. So 4 melee units and a regular basic spearman as well. So 5 melee units. And then, of course, their general. So mostly range focused here. So I'm going to want to be able to account for that. And then as far as the reinforcements are concerned, not too threatening on first glance. Yeah, a lot of ranged troops, urban militia, peasants, guns. Yeah, I'm not seeing anything down here that's going to be too threatening. So I mean, let's see, I outnumber them by 700. Yeah, we should be okay here. As long as my general doesn't bring down the whole team. Luckily, we have a decent little hill here, so it's nothing too fancy here, but it's solid. And don't know if I can keep my cav hidden back here. It looks like they're probably going to be in view of the enemy. I was kind of hoping that maybe the enemy couldn't see them. I don't know. It's kind of hard to tell. If they just go around the hill, they can definitely see them. But so yeah, there's probably not going to be any surprises in that front. But I'll keep them back here and just react to what the enemy is going to be doing here. Because yeah, they got a long way to march. And this is desert. And they do have some units that have some decent armor values. I think their chivalric men-at-arms is kind of heavily armored. And their general as well. It's pretty heavily armored. So if we can get those guys tuckered out by the time they arrive, that's going to be good for us. Now I'm seeing these Genetes on that flank, and where are the other two? I thought they had 2 units of Genetes. Do they not? Well, that's looking pretty wide open on that side, so I just take my hobblers out here. And oh, there they are. There's the Genetes on that. Okay, so is that 1 unit of Genetes on either side? Okay. Huh, that makes things a bit tougher for my light cav. Because I basically need my longbowmen to shoot down the Genetes. Like, I'd rather you guys focus on them. Because once those Genetes are out of the way, then I have a bit more free reign with my cavalry. Because if I just charge them, they're just going to be running back, running away. So try to, yeah, just make sure my swordsmen get up here. Just make sure they don't get any hits. And here comes the charge. Alright, so let's make sure we get our feudal men-at-arms charging downhill at their feudal men-at-arms. And yep, just charge in there, and then there. And that is fine. Ooh, they're just going right on in. Okay, let's just get my hobblers charging their Genetes here. And let's get Cav on this side, and then on this side you go here. And you just threaten here, and then you charge here. And then, yeah, you just screen them out. You screen them, and then you guys hit the ranged units. And then you get a little flanking charge into those feudal men-at-arms that are somehow winning. I guess their general has a good valor, I suppose. And then here, see, that's not a good charge for us. They're going to be getting their general into my swords, but if they can hold out long enough... No, they just broke right away. Oh, man. Okay. Huh. Why do they break right away? Well, I have feudal knights right there that can kind of stop them, hopefully, and then my feudal men-at-arms can hopefully stop them as well. I got more feudal dudes here. So yeah, let's just try to trap their general. And are we gonna be okay here, or are we struggling? How are my hobblers doing? My hobblers are running away for some reason, just losing to a bunch of ranged units, I suppose. So those feudal men-at-arms are somehow like fighting very hard against my guys. Alright, so let's get my swords against their swords here, because I have 2 units of cav versus their guys, so that should be okay for me. And then, do I have to bring my general into the fight? Oh god, I don't want to. Alright, we're breaking them here. Good. Good. Let's get in here quickly. You guys have to quickly get in here and try to break these guys. Those are spearmen. And their general is still fighting. He's just an incredible general, I guess. Okay, so how are we doing here? Hobblers are still... I guess they're keeping them busy, so there's that. Yeah. There we go. There's the break. There's the break. Yeah, just keep on breaking these guys. Wrap them up, wrap them up. There we go. There we go. That's looking good. That's looking good. Let's get my billman back, whoever's left, that is. And then you guys get up here, and general as well, get up here. You get up. You get up here, and this man, this general, holy shit, dude. Feudal Knights hit into these Arblasters because they're very good and they're doing a lot of damage, I imagine. Alright, so we're actually breaking guys here. That's good. Oh, now the Mangonels throwing their rocks at us. And yeah, the Genites are going to hurt my Hobblers and probably rout them. Yes, they are. And Feudal Knights on this side. Feudal Men-at-Arms, get back up here. God, their general's fighting literally to the last man. It's just him, and he hasn't broken yet. God damn, dude. God damn. See, I want to send this unit of Feudal Knights to trap him, but I feel like I need to have some cav, you know, putting some pressure on the Arblasters. This is a very strong unit, so... And my Hobblers have now all routed. Can I rally these guys? If I can rally them, yes, nice, 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 nice. I rallied them. And... I hate to do it, but I think I have to sacrifice those Feudal Knights just to kind of keep those Arblasters busy for now, and just give my Longbowmen a chance to keep shooting at these Genites here and then here. And this guy, this freaking guy, he's just soloing 2 units of Feudal Knights by himself. In freaking insane. Let's send some Billmen to come help, I guess. And Feudal Men-at-Arms, I guess, too? I mean, that's just bananas. Let's get an assembly point right there, so that when... Actually, can I bring on a unit? No, not yet. Okay. Alright, so these guys are fighting the good fight. Still, I mean, these Arblasters, because their general hasn't broken yet. I mean, I have Billmen in there now, helping out, so hopefully... Okay, we got some Hobblers back. That's very, very nice. Let's try to get these guys back here. And you go here. There we go. Oh my god. Jesus Christ. Alright, so those Feudal Men-at-Arms are getting away. And you guys get back here. Actually, you get back here. And Feudal Knights get back. And the Feudal Men-at-Arms get back here. And these Hobblars... Okay, let's go after the Arblasters. Yep, let's go get them. You go, and then... You get those Arblasters. Sorry, I know you guys just, you know, fought against the most badass guy in the world, but I think I have to send you after these Arblasters. You're exhausted, never mind. You're not gonna get there. But you can get there, and then you can get there, and then you... Go after those Javelins. And then we have... What do we have? Chivalric Sergeants coming on? So some heavily armored Spearmen are coming on in. Yeah, not the most ideal unit in the desert, but we'll take what we can get. And how's the ammo on the Longbowmen? Oh, yeah, pretty low. It's pretty low. You're out of ammo. I should probably... Yeah, I gotta withdraw you. You're out of ammo. Let's withdraw you. And then you do have at least like a volley or 2 left. I'm really happy to see these Hobblers doing such a good job in chasing down these units here, because I was pretty worried. I sent them into a pretty tough fight and they did not hold up, you know, they routed as they should have. But to see them here with, you know, 19 men left and 21 men left in this unit and still chasing down some Arblasters and Archers, like, oh yeah, that's some good value. Yeah, that is some good freaking value. And are these guys... I wonder if they've had enough. It kind of looks like their units are just routing right off the map as they come on. So they might be done. And yeah, this is always a tough call for me. So do I keep chasing them to the edge of the map and risk getting these Hobblers caught out by enemy units? But I think that they're... I think they're marching right off the map as soon as they get on the map. That's going to do it. Yeah, they had no more fight left in them. Good. Yes, good. So I killed 455 and I did capture 238. I will allow them the chance to ransom those guys back if they want to. And I did lose 395, so definitely a bloody conflict on both sides. But still, when it comes to the war of attrition, I think that went well in my favor. Yeah, that's going to make things tougher for them. So the Italians are retreating from who? Who's attacking them in Morocco? Is it the Spanish? And Cordoba? Oh, are the Spanish attacking the Italians? Okay. So we sunk an enemy boat here in the African coast. I don't remember if we were the attackers here. I would imagine we were, judging based on what that looks like. And I think that little graphic there indicates that we were the attackers as well. Yeah, so they did ransom back those soldiers. So they did pay me 1,351 florins for those 238 men. Okay, and the French are very happy hanging out in Champagne. Good for them. And I lost a bark to a storm in the Eastern Mediterranean. Well, luckily, I have a second one. That's why I have two. All right, the King of Poland has died, but he does have an heir. And bribery mission. So the army has increased in value, 102,000. Yeah, raised the offer to the advised amount. No, he is too loyal. Okay. Alright, Spanish assassins are in Wales. Okay. Master shipbuilder finished here. Normandy. Nice. Now I can start building those cogs there. And, or no, that's the master shipbuilder. That's so that I can build carracks. But I think that I need one more artillery building so before I can build carracks, I think. Master merchant in Murcia. If I had trade, that would be nice. But that's not really going to do much for me. And I don't think are any of these starred generals. One-star general minus valor. Yeah, that's not good. Secret blood lover. He kills prisoners even when it is... Oh, that's a historical guy. Sir Roger Mortimer. I know the name. I don't know. You know, I started listening to the British History podcast like a long time ago. And it's still just covering the Viking Age because the narrator goes so slowly through history. And I love it. I love that detail. But I'm like, man, I need to learn about this period of English history because like all I know is Viking Age. That's all I know. And then after the Normans come in, basically nothing. I don't know like anything. I know about the, Lionheart in the Third Crusade against Saladin. I know that. That's pretty much it. So yeah, these famous, there's another one too. Gosh, there's been a few of these historical generals in this game that I'm like, I don't know who these guys are. Sir Roger Mortimer. So he kills prisoners even when it is not necessary, which causes discontent amongst his men. He indulges his secret passion for blood, personally executing many captives, plus 3 dread. Okay. Well, he is a 4-star general, so that's good. And he's in a unit of chivalric men-at-arms, which is unfortunate. 3 loyalty, eh? Okay. Might want to marry him. I have princesses coming on the way. I do. I have a few. I have 3 princesses on the way. Either next turn or the turn after that, I think, is when they come of age, 15 or 16. And... yes, he's going to be a candidate for that because 3 loyalty is a little bit dodgy. All that dread, pretty nice. 4 command, makes sense. 4 acumen. Yeah, he would make a decent governor as well. Yeah, he would make a decent governor with all that dread and that 4 acumen. It's too bad that I can't get him to the Levant, because I could use some more decent generals out here. Although Sir William Bouchier did okay. He held himself well. Yeah, he has a good account of himself defending Tripoli against those men. Although they didn't, they were... I did outnumber them, so there is that too. Well, isn't that fancy? The Italians and the Spanish are now at war, and that helps me out so much. So, first off, the bad news. The Spanish did take Morocco from the Italians. That's unfortunate. And the Spanish have also taken Cordoba off of the Italians. Now, is there a possibility of a counterattack by the Italians? I don't know. They don't have that much in Iberia, really. But, now you may have noticed, where did all the Spanish boats go? There's not a lot of Spanish boats in the water. Look at that. Look at that. Still over here, yeah. There's still some over here. But I would say that's because the Italians just cleaned house. Because who else has a decent navy on the map other than myself and the Spanish? And the Byzantines. The Byzantines have some boats too. But it's the Italians. That's the answer. That's the answer I'm looking for. It's the Italians. They have these boats that probably, I'm trying to, yeah, I can't even see their boats. Do they have dromons and galleys? Tell me they have some caravels and other stuff. There's no way they beat the Spanish boats with dromons and galleys. That's all I'm seeing though. They got some fire galleys. Okay, fire galley. That's a decent. They have an attack of 3. Okay, so we got some fire galleys. That helps. What do they have up here? Galleys and dromons. Yeah, those are tier 1 boats. They have a fire galley. There's no fire. Okay. Huh. That helps out substantially. Okay. Yeah, with the Italians on side. Oh man. The Spanish fucked up. Yeah, they're in trouble. I mean, sure, on land, they're going to be okay. But the Spanish can, you know, with their navies, they can bring troops to the Iberian Peninsula if they want to. Now, the Italians are pretty tied up on the continent, so they might want to continue to, you know, fight that fight. Ooh, there is a possibility of this as well. Huh. Yeah, the Spanish could attack the Italians in Provence or Burgundy. That could be problematic because, you know, the Spanish have a lot of forces here and the Italians are a bit spread out. Yeah. Who else? Are they at war with anyone else? Just the Spanish. So the Italians can't focus their entire might on the Spanish. Well, yeah, that just really did, I mean, things were pretty even before between myself and the Spanish, but I would say that now with the Italians on side, that really just opened things up for me. But that's going to be it for this episode. Before I go, I just wanted to say that if you're enjoying these videos and you would like to support the channel, then consider subscribing, liking, and sharing. It all helps immensely. So until next time, this has been Conestip playing Medieval Total War. Thank you very much, and goodbye.